All right, thank you.
Excuse me.
Anfernee, this Raptors squad just kept coming at you guys. It was physical all night. How were you able to hold them off?
Just be decisive. I think that physicality kind of can throw off your rhythm as a team, and we kind of gathered and was kind of able to combat their aggressiveness with our aggressiveness as well. So I think that was pretty much what it was.
How special is this team's ability to bounce back off of losses and refocus?
Great. I mean, each and every game, there's always a rough patch, and most of the time we're able to, come together and get over that patch and come out with a win for the most part. And so, that's just one of the things that Joe kind of emphasized early in the season is that, we're gonna go through ebbs and flows, but as long as we stay together and we stay even keeled through everything and stick to what we know, we're gonna come out on top of in most situations.
You've been able to stay so even keeled this year. A lot of change, sacrifice. Obviously a big change in the role this year. Seems like you've handled it really well. Has that been a straightforward process? Has it had some ups and downs? How have you gone through that?
I mean, naturally it has its ups and downs. You know what I mean? We all human, and so. But I think I just go back into, my past experiences, whether it was early in my career where I wasn't playing that much and my minutes were up and down, and then kind of gathering the things I've learned over the years in the NBA and just, understanding that in these situations you got to control what you can control, and then the spots where you can control, I think you got to try to be the best version of yourself in those situations, and so that's what my focus always going to be, no matter if I get 10 minutes or 30 minutes or 40 minutes, it doesn't matter. So I think I'm just want to dominate and be myself in those minutes that I do get.
You guys are obviously emphasizing minimizing turnovers between the new role and adjusting to new teammates. Have you had to adjust to your style of play at all to adhere to that?
I try to adjust to the way we play. I don't think, I just had to find my way within what we were trying to do. And I think, for the most part, I was able to find ways that I can still be myself and still, play the way that, I feel like I played best in. And so, but that pretty much flows into what we're trying to do. So it was pretty easy seemed to fit, but I think, of course, it's going to take a minute to adjust to.
Along the same lines with adjustments, your name pops up in trade rumors now that we're in that part of the schedule. Mm-hmm. How do you get past that? How do you put that out of your head and focus on what you're trying to do?
Yeah, man, it's the NBA. I've been trade rumors since my third year. Every other week or something new. You know what I mean? So, it's just a part of the NBA, and you just gotta be where your feet are.
Anfernee, you've talked about, the sort of adapting and getting used to things as the year's gone on more defensively. Is there anybody on the coaching staff you've worked with in particular to, improve on that end and get adjusted to what the Celtics want you to do? And what are those areas of improvement you think you've, gotten adjusted to the most since you've been here?
I think, everybody, dips their hand into everybody's development. But I think, obviously, I worked with Ross, specifically, from the first workout, here, that was the first thing we did was getting my mind right into that end of the floor, and each and every practice, each and every game, I just slowly started to try to get comfortable, and you can still see myself, sometimes getting adjusted, but I think for the most part, I feel like I've been doing a great job of just adjusting to it and playing my heart out and just going out there and playing hard, which they want me to do.
Are there any specific areas you think you've taken the biggest leap in terms of whether it's getting around screens or being active with your hands or staying in position,
but mostly it's just getting around screens, guarding the ball, no matter who's on me, occupying the man that's coming downhill at me, so somebody the backline defender can come in and contest the shot. I think that's one of the first things that I struggle with, because I want to be aggressive in that instance. And so just not fouling that situation and letting the help come and make a play. So that's kind of the things that I've been working on.
Joe said you guys feels like you made a lot of progress since October on the defensive end. Was there a moment this season where you were on the court and you kind of realized, wow, I feel a lot different than I did when the season started on that end?
I wouldn't say it was a moment. I think, game by game, you find different ways to impact the game in that side of the floor, and you know, it starts to become almost like a game within the game, of just figuring out ways to, you know, find that moment to where you can make that play. And so that's the thing that we've been kind of emphasizing, just like picking your moments where you can impact the game and make a play.